Welcome everybody to the first ever edition of Ron and Friends. This is my number one friend, Christy Miller. And Christy, where are we today?
Hell.
Yes, and that hell would be 117th Street and Pleasant Avenue. We're up in Harlem today. We're checking out a new comedy club. It's called Comedy in Harlem with Jamie Roberts, my newest friend. And look who's coming to the door. Jamie Roberts,
welcome,
how are
man.
you, Jamie? Welcome to the show, Christy Miller. Well, these two know each other. They're both comedians.
I play this club. This club is awesome.
These
You
two
have to come to
comedians.
this club. The
Come
best
on in,
show.
We're
welcome.
so excited. Thank you for having us to your
Welcome.
comedy club. Let's
Yeah.
go in. Come on, Chris. Wow.
So welcome.
This is so nice. I love this club so much. I love playing here.
This is Comedy in Harlem?
It's Comedy
Hold
in
on.
Harlem, man.
This
Welcome.
is the only comedy club in Harlem.
The only comedy club in Harlem.
When did you open this place?
First, we're the only black-owned comedy club in New York.
Uh-oh.
The only black-owned and the only one in Harlem. And there's only at one place on 117. So you started when?
We opened our doors in October 2021.
Incredible. And
Yeah.
how have you found it as a comedy club?
We love it. The people love it. The neighborhood loves us. You know, we're bringing arts back into Harlem. It's part of the things that we do. You know, we're building a community for the comedians as well. They feel like they're home, right?
Yep. Saturday night. I mean, the shows here are always sold out. The audiences are fire. I mean, fire audiences. And they
Wow.
come here to laugh. They're not jaded like some comedy clubs when you go on the road.
And in this neighborhood, you got some delicious food downstairs.
Correct.
You have a shopping mart. What do we have with there? Costco.
Costco, there's a Target. You know, there's plenty of parking right there.
Tons of parking.
You'll never pay more than $18 to park.
Never paid more than 18 in New York City. That's like a godsend. You cannot believe that.
All right, so let's get a seat.
Ooh. Okay, nice.
Take your
I don't want to
seats.
sit in front. I don't want to get heckled.
Oh, I'm heckling you, bro.
Oh my God.
You are done.
All right, do you know what it takes to start a comedy club on its own? Plus, you're already a comedian. Jamie, I want to know a little bit about when did you start doing comedy?
Oh man, that's a hell of a story. Started in 2001, if you want to believe that. Yeah, and it's been a journey. It's been a great journey. I love what I do. I love the art of comedy. I love teaching comedy. And I love what we're building here in Harlem.
And you've always been performing in New York City?
Always been from New York City. Of course, you know, you run out to LA, try to get famous.
Of course. I've done it and failed. I failed.
But yeah, New York City, we've traveled. We've done, you know, cruises. We've done flyaways with Jamaica. We've done St. Martin. This year, we're going to Las Cabos. Where else? We're going to, you know, a couple places.
Oh, great places, yeah. And you start out as an accountant.
Yeah.
So you're great with numbers.
I'm great with numbers.
And you saw that this one's going to be a success. You saw the dollar signs coming.
Not yet.
It's all. There you go.
Nobody opens a comedy club to be rich, all right?
You're absolutely right. You don't open up the comedy club to get rich.
Okay.
We open it for the culture. We need it for the culture. We need it for the people.
Absolutely.
And this area really needed a black-owned comedy club, especially. And I'm not just saying that as, oh, I'm just trying to be woke. No, but it's true though.
Yes, it is.
This area is like a comedy club desert, and coming in when Jamie came in is like the perfect time because this area is up and coming still. And then in another 5-10 years, they'll all look like me.
Yeah. Harlem, baby. She's absolutely right. You know, we struck when iron was hot. So, and it's what's needed in the area. You know, Harlem is a destination place now, and we have all the clubs downtown competing. Why not get one uptown?
Absolutely. And what kind of other things do you do here? Kind of events? Do you do open mics here?
Yes, we do open mics for singers and for comedians and poets. We do a gospel brunch on Sundays.
Oh, gospel.
Which a live band, which is great.
Amazing.
We all need God. We all need God in our lives.
Especially you.
I was trying to say.
Right, and we've done a couple things. We've done fundraisers, we've done screenings, we've done, you know, premieres, like you said, Woke. We did the season premiere for Woke.
Oh, wow.
It's great. You know, it's just the actual space itself lends it to the community. So, you know, we've had someone who wanted to do a baby shower, but they wanted beer. And I'm like, wait a minute, what kind of baby shower is really happening here? You know what I mean?
Well, the baby's 21, and,
Right.
and they're going to do a gender reveal at the same time.
Right.
It is
Gender
2020
neutral.
Gender
Gender
neutral
neutral.
reveal. What comes out of the balloon? Beige?
Beige, yeah, you got to blend the two. So Christy's a regular here at the club. So.
Wow. They must love her here.
Yeah,
Oh,
they love
God.
the.
Oh yeah, I'm the raisin and the potato salad here. No, I grew up under Paul Mooney. I came from the Comedy Store in the mid '90s under Mitzi Shore's thumb. And
In LA.
that's when in West Hollywood, and that's where I first met Paul Mooney. It's when I first started in '95.
Wow.
And he took me under his wing instantly, and we were bonded. And so I moved to New York in 2005, but I started coming here with Paul Mooney in '99.
Wow.
So I grew up, I cut my teeth in black rooms. So they're the most welcoming, loving rooms. When they love you, they love you.
Absolutely.
And when they hate you, they hate you.
1,000%. She's
I was about to
1,000%
say,
right.
I always know where I stand in a black room versus a white room, because a white room will be like, and stare at you, and then after the show go, you were the funniest, we love you so much. I'm like, well, could you have shown me that in the room instead of waiting until the show was over?
And I will say this, I used to do a dinner theater in Midtown. And one time we had, for some reason, there was some black organization that came in, all black, to watch the show. And we'd never had that before. And I went in there and I had done stuff and yes, but I did stuff that I had never would have done before because they were giving me so much love and just energy.
The
And
energy.
just like, they were like, go ahead, do more. And it was just, oh my God, it was just so much fun. So I assume that's what we're kind of getting here. We're getting the
Correct.
excitement,
Well,
the energy.
Yeah,
Correct.
and also
The
well,
Harlem, only Harlem energy can
Yeah,
give.
well, Harlem is its own entity. I mean, Harlem, the history of Harlem is insane. And I hate that it's starting to get watered down and bought out.
Is it?
And it's, yeah.
But bought
it's
out
New
by
York
hopefully
City.
by black-owned
But
places
what we have to do
and
is
keep it.
maintain black-owned businesses up here. We have to
Do we?
maintain the integrity and the history of Harlem and what makes it so special.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm
how
buying
you
6
gonna-
buildings later.
So how do you do that though? Like you said, you're having music. You're having every kind of like music and the culture of Harlem is going to be in here. I assume everything that is coming that's come from Harlem or the past. You say you're doing something, a show that you're doing. They wanted to do from Bring Back the Past.
So the show that we're building is actually going to be a show that gives us a feel of old Harlem. So it's going to have some burlesque, it's going to have some singing, it's going to have some dancing, and maybe even some slides to let people know, the tourists know, what Harlem was like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, the jazz players, all the history that is no longer being shown of Harlem. So we're putting that in a package, 45-minute show. My wife Nikki Sunshine is putting it together. Something special, and it's something that we can actually showcase. Not just comedy. It's
a mixture of
culture.
all arts.
It's a
Right.
culture.
All arts
Right.
together.
Correct.
It's all part of the culture.
Right.
It's been and the comics that he has here. I work Saturday night. They do a ladies' night here once a month, and I got to work with comedians that I've never seen or heard of, and I'm in hysterics dying. And it's just like you guys have to come here and watch the comics. And you may not see some of these comics in the mainstream.
Correct.
Or play in the main clubs, because some of them were like, "Oh, you play the main clubs." I said, "Well, yeah, because that's my white privilege."
But
the talent in this building every night is just unbelievable.
So that's the reason why we built the club, because black and brown comedians, we don't get a fair shake in the main rooms.
Nope.
So we needed a space of our own that we can hone our art. So if you were to go to downtown, I used to run a show downtown.
I know.
You know, it's Sunday
I
Night
remember
Live
Sunday Night
downtown.
Live that
But
I
it
never
was-
got to do. Anyway.
Calm down. But that show was made, it wasn't a black show. It was
No.
just a black man producing the show.
Yeah.
And it was made because we needed a stage to get on regularly. And then some of the names that had come through that show were not a regular at the club until they started doing my show.
Yep.
And then that's how it started building, and that's how I built my relationships in comedy. We ran that show for 10 years.
Yeah, you did.
Successfully every week. We only had 3 canceled shows. But, with that show being the basis of why we built this club, it's the same thought process. We need a stage for us to work out because the bookers aren't booking us. They're not calling us.
Yeah.
Even the outside bookers, even the independent bookers are not calling us. So how do you get around that? Instead of just sitting around at the bar hoping and praying for someone to call your name or pull your name out of a hat, you build your own.
I'm one of those type of comedians, and like, I'm a lot different than normal white women comedians. So I find my home in these underground rooms. in these, different ethnicities and different cultures embrace me because I am different. And it's an honor to be able to play in a room that's set up for people who are not able to get into the mainstream clubs, where the mainstream just erases them because, oh, it's too black, or that's too Latin, that's too much,
Right.
it's terrible. Like,
Right.
that's who they are.
Well, I wanted to tell you that I was recently did a show in an all black room in Brooklyn, and I bombed to holy hell. And I haven't bombed in a long time. I haven't bombed. Well, all right, I didn't do great on her show, I have to say, but they weren't getting the drinks out. But listen, what happened?
That always helps.
Yes, yeah, that was a big thing.
It was a big deal.
But I wanted to first put on the first part you said about, you said like a lot of black people aren't getting into main rooms downtown. And I have no idea how that works. I know that I was on the phone with a friend just last night, and they were telling me how they thought that white people today are not getting, they're like, not, I wouldn't say public enemy number one, but they're not getting the opportunities. Now, I will just say this. If I felt that way, I would say it right now, but I don't feel that way. And I find it funny that this is a white guy saying it, and I have a black man saying, no, it's actually us, we're not getting the opportunities. So you see how the mind, everyone has a different opinion of who's getting the favors, why they're getting them,
Now,
the opportunities.
May I
Please.
tag on to that? Because the ones that complain the most like that, especially of my people, are the ones that suck.
They're not funny.
They're not getting booked because they're not funny.
I believe it.
White people are still the dominant lineups. White straight males are still on the dominant amount of the lineups. There's one woman, one black, and the rest white.
Right.
And I see it all the time. I don't care because I know I'm funny, and I could care less what a booker says.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna throw down and bring it every time. I will go up against any man comic on this planet and be like, what, you wanna throw down?
What, you
Do
mean
this?
fighting, or are you talking about actually comedy? Because we
Both.
know that you... All right, never mind.
Maybe we can do that
No,
show
but I'll
here. Maybe
will.
we have that show.
Mud wrestling? All right, cool. We can do that.
No, but I'm saying, like, they always say, well, women aren't funny, and they aren't.
What?
It depends.
Women aren't funny?
Most women aren't funny.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can say that married to a
most-
comedian.
He's married. This guy married a
You ain't gonna
comedian.
get none
But this
tonight.
guy got the ultimate. He got
No,
the
but I'm
ultimate.
being honest. There's a
woman
lot
that's
of women,
funny.
because let me tell you why. When I know, this is what my experience. Now, everybody puts their ego into everything because they make it about them and why. Oh, that's bad because it affects me directly.
Sure.
Well, look at the bigger picture. And I always say, like, there's not enough women on lineups, there's not enough this, there's not enough that. Why do we still have to, in 2022, have to do all female shows? Why?
Right.
Because we're still pushed aside and not thought of as not funny or not funny enough.
Right.
So what I find, especially with independent producers, is that they'll book, and I've even seen this with a club owner, book females that are weak, mediocre, or they're really hot, and they do terrible, and they go, see, that's why we don't book women, you're not funny. And I'm like, but you didn't book me, you didn't book this person, you didn't book this person. I'll give them a list of funny women that will outrank anybody, and they're like, that's a bit much.
Well, tell them to come to Harlem. We
Yeah.
welcome everyone.
So that's
Yeah.
it. Then this might be the place to be.
Yeah.
If you're not, because there's so many comedians and a lot not getting their shot. And here is the perfect place. How many people can you seat here?
We seated 74 people.
74 people
74
here. And
people.
what do we serve here for drinks and stuff?
Yeah, we got a little bit of everything. We got a little bit of everything, yeah.
We get the hard liquor. We can get the regular beer. Well, that's good. No, you get the liquor license. It's a big deal. Some
Yes, it
places
is.
they don't have that.
Got Cisco. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Don't worry about
singer?
that.
Don't worry about that.
Singer?
Oh.
No.
Kidding.
So Jamie, tell us your show schedule. How many shows a night do you do? How many weeks of the week? How many weeks of the week? Hi. How many days of the week are you open?
So we normally do one show a night. On Friday and Saturday we do 2 shows, but we're open Thursday through Monday.
And what times are those shows?
8 o'clock and 10 o'clock.
Okay.
But we do have some shows that we sprinkle in there on a Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what it is. You're familiar, we do the ladies show every last Saturday of the month. We do Wet by Comedy, which is the Hispanic show. That's either the first Friday or the last Friday of the month.
Whenever the club needs cleaning.
Oh, horrible! Make sure you edit that out. Oh,
Come
God.
on, it's a comedy
Oh,
show.
God, yeah, but we're not trying to get shut down. We're El Barrio over here. But yes, we're open And we do.
And what about Smokey Suarez? He has a show here too. He's
Smokey-
a big Harlem, big black comic, like
Big
not
black
big in size. He's not big in
Oh.
black, but he's a big name and he's well. And forget it. Just edit that out.
Describing
sounds-
Cox. He's the
It's
big
shovel-
black.
It's the shoveling into the racist soup that I'm doing.
All right, yeah. Smokey Suarez does a weekly show here on Mondays.
He's hilarious.
It's called The Living Room with Smokey Suarez, and it's run like an open mic, but it's a show. So
It's
you
kind
know,
of like
you
a
can
pass the mic kind of thing.
No, we're not doing that. Not with COVID. Anyway. But you know, it's run like a show. So you can sign up, and if you're good enough, we'll put you on stage.
So, okay, tell me this. So, if people sign up on Smokey's show and you go,
You get the light.
at when? A 30 second?
Well,
Or when you pull the name? Nope.
we know as comics, if you're funny within the first 30 to 45
Yes.
seconds of your set.
I know when you walk on stage and
Correct.
touch the mic, I'm like,
Correct.
you are going to suck or he's going to be amazing.
Correct. Because, and you know, we don't want to waste people's time. People pay tickets to come in and see it.
See, let me tell
And
you.
it's part of it. It really is part of it because you can get up there and act like, hey, I'm good. No, you're not. You're not funny. You're not wasting anybody's time tonight.
You can't waste time.
You know, you remember those big
So
hooks?
I'll be on for a minute.
43 seconds. See,
Right.
this is what I love about black rooms. It's straight up. If you did that same show in a white room, I'm sorry, but if you did that in a white room, they'd be just polite.
They'll be polite. Correct.
And
we don't have time
polite
for
is
politeness.
no time for polite. That's why I love this room. I mean, if you want to see a really good show with a bunch of killer comics that you'll never see or haven't seen on TV yet or are up and coming or about to blow up, you gotta come here.
And we also have those A-list comics too, because
Yes,
we've
you
had
do.
Donnell Rollins come through.
Love.
Yeah, which is hilarious. Ashley Larry from Chappelle's Show. We've
Yep.
had Marshall Brandon. We've had
Love.
John Henton from Living Single.
Love.
We've had Tony Roberts. We have
Amazing.
TK Kirkland coming in a couple months. So the names are starting to get out there. You know, the club is starting to grow. And the more and more people talk about it, tweet about it, and we have reviews and shows like yours, my friend,
Yes,
you
yes.
know, we'll be able to get more exposure.
James, I just want to say thank you so much for having us up to your club, Comedy in Harlem. And I can't wait to come up on the show and maybe do a show here, and maybe Christy will join me, and I get to meet the famous Nikki Sunshine.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much for having us here. We're on 117th and Pleasant Avenue.
It's Pleasant Avenue. right
Pleasant
across-
Avenue, 117th Street. You got to come see Jamie Roberts in his comedy club.
You go to Costco, stock up on toilet paper and detergent and noodles, and then come in here, watch a show, go home, and put it away.
That's right.
Thanks for watching us,
Kirkland
Ron
beer.
and friends.